Welcome back to HDTechLogic. In today's video, we're going to be doing the third episode in our Idle Python series on learning the complete basics for beginners. Today we're doing if, elif and else statements. Let's get started. So last video we ended off on this, and it was just a basic program that would say, what's your first name? What's your last name? And it would say that. Now let's get into the if, elif and else statements, and to do that let's, as always, get rid of everything that was there before. Now, ifs, elifs and else statements, they are the ones that literally do what it says on the tin. For instance, the if statement means if the user was to input this, then the program should do this. Else if the user was to enter this, then the program should do this. Else if the user was to enter something different, it should do this. If they didn't do any of this at all, basically else, then it can just do a specific command. So a typical if statement would look like this. And this, at the moment, sounds good, but it's not going to do anything, and it will throw back an error. Why is that? Well, it needs an input command. That's why I highly suggest that you look at the previous videos. You're going to need an input command, and as we said last time, you're going to need your variable name equals input, and then the question. Now, if you see, it says hello or no. Let's type in hi. We'll do nothing. But if I was to type hello, it would say hello there, because the temporary input that was stored in the name variable was triggered here if that input, which was hello, was equal to what the previous command was hello, then it should print hello there. We can do this with multiple things, so let's just change it to what's your name? And we can change the variable name to name. So let's change this to John, maybe. And it can just go, hello John. That's a good name. Else if is the elif statement. This means if something else was to happen. So name equals Roy. Then the program can print hello Roy. That's also a good name. Now you can add multiple elif statements, but you can only add one if statement. So you can add else if the name was Roy, then it can do this. Else if the name was Mike, then it can say, hi Mike. That's also an approving name. I'm just making this stuff up as I go along as well. Else, it can say, sorry, name invalid. And what this will mean is that if, basically, the input of name was equal to John, it would say hello John, that's a good name. Else if, which means basically alternatively, if the name was Roy, it would say hello Roy, that's also a good name. Alternatively, if the name was Mike, it would say hi Mike, that's also an approving name. Else, which means if none of those were done, then it would just say sorry, name invalid. And what that would do is this. What's your name? So I can just type in Sam. and it would say sorry, name invalid, because that wasn't equal to any of these. But if we rerun this, what's your name? Let's say this time it's Roy. It's saying hello Roy, that's also a good name, because I entered Roy and that got stored in the name variable. Then that triggered with this, and it means alternatively, if the name was equal to Roy, which is what I put in, it would do this. And that means that it's done that. If I was to say John, it would say hello John, that's a good name. But be aware, I'm now going to do this just by doing that. This is case sensitive stuff. So if you really want it to work with non-case sensitive stuff, you're going to really need to do it like this. Repaste it. Make it an elif. And then change it. It's simple as that. You can't make it non-case sensitive. Let's try that again. Elif name was full caps. John. Let's say, hello John. And basically now, instead of throwing an error, it would go, John is good. John is good. John, also good. So that's basically how if, elif, and else statements work. Now let me just quickly comment all of this stuff out, because I have a bit more to tell you. So let's bring it down a bit. So, how do you structure an if, elif, and else statement? Well, the if one is structured in the way if name, which was the name of the variable, equals, then opening statements, and then what it needs to be equal to. If name was equal to Ray, closing statements, colon. This basically suggests that if the name was equal to Ray, then you can enter your command. The elif is structured mostly the same, just instead of if, it says elif. Elif name is equal to Roy, then print else is just structured else, and then just do what you want. Basically, what will that do? Well, it will just do what we said earlier. Ray, go away, as said here. Roy, actually, and then else. So, John, because it's not any of these, it's something else. Good. And that's how you do if, elif, and else statements. I've also linked something in the description that explains this a bit more. Anyway, hope you enjoyed, and hope that you found it useful. If you did, please consider subscribing to the HDTechLogic YouTube channel, and I'll see you in the next video.